he did it.
Coming up on Carolina News.
To know that I might not be protected is a scary thing.
Transgender students react to Trump's bathroom guidelines recall. What's next? Plus, check this out. Find out why tensions were high in Charleston. And, despite the rise of Spotify, Pandora, and Apple Music, FM radio stations still remain as popular as ever. Carolina News starts now.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Jada Williams.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I'm Bryan Solomon. Tonight's breaking story, President Trump has repealed federal transgender protections that were put in place by the Obama administration last year.
People who supported the protections are speaking out, while others think it's a states' rights issue. We have Braley Johnson in the newsroom with the story. Braley?
President Trump's repeal on federal protections for trans students has ignited criticism from people who supported it. These protections were created to allow students in public schools to use bathrooms and facilities that aligned with their gender identity. At the University of South Carolina, students are concerned that the repeal may negatively affect the lives of trans students on campus. People have hit the streets of Washington, D.C. to protest President Trump's repeal of federal protections for trans students in public schools. But for trans students at the University of South Carolina, the repeal of the protection hits a little closer to home.
If I die from kidney failure because I never go to the bathroom anymore, that's why, friends.
Audria Bird is a senior at USC and identifies as a transgendered woman. Bird says that though she's disappointed in the president's decision to repeal the protection, she's not surprised that it happened.
You know, look at who his vice president is, look at everyone he's brought into his cabinet. And so it was only a matter of time.
Bird hasn't felt comfortable using public restrooms since starting her transition, but she's now worried that it might be tough in the future.
To know that I might not be protected is a scary thing.
At USC, there are no policies that protect students who want to use restrooms that align with their gender identity. Logan Davies, a member of LGBTQ group IRIS, says that as a trans man, he's afraid of what the repeal means for him.
It kind of scares me. I used to only use gender-neutral bathrooms, at the beginning of the year anyways, because I wasn't passing as well as I do now. So I guess I'll go back to doing that.
Though navigating college as a trans student can be difficult, Bird had this simple advice.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Both Davies and Bird say that though the university has attempted to make things easier for trans students, they still have a long way to go. The Trump administration says that the debate on whether or not to allow trans students to use facilities that align with their gender identity is a states' rights issue. They also cited lawsuits about the protection as a basis for the repeal. Back to you in the newsroom.
A new poll from Winthrop University says South Carolinians are divided over President Trump. The poll found that 44% of South Carolinians approve of the president, while 47% disapprove. South Carolina Republicans remain the most supportive of Trump, while 4 out of 5 African Americans think he's doing a bad job. The poll also shows immigration is the most pressing issue of the presidency. The findings in South Carolina, a state that voted more than half for Trump, mirrors the national opinion.
South Carolina state employees may not be getting a raise this year. The South Carolina House budget writers did not include a pay raise for state employees in the first draft of their roughly $8 billion general fund budget. In 2016, lawmakers approved a 3.25% pay raise for state employees, the largest raise in a decade. But 4 out of the past 10 years, state employees did not get a raise. Lawmakers say it would cost roughly $18 million for 1% pay raise.
I think the state government is going to have to go on a diet as far as spending. It's like a meal. You have your necessities, and then you have dessert, or what's extra.
While a pay raise was not included in the first draft, members of the House Ways and Means Committee approved paying for the state employees' increased health insurance costs. A suspect is in custody after exchanging gunfire with officers in Lexington County yesterday. Sheriff Jay Coon said his officers and U.S. Marshals went to a home on Boiling Springs Road to serve a warrant against a suspect wanted in connection to a shooting on Cary Lane in Gaston on February 5th. When officers approached the home, the suspect fled in a stolen vehicle. As he tried to escape, he hit 2 police cars, pinning one of the police officers against his own car. Officers then fired at the suspect when he was struck several times. Both the officer and suspect was taken to the hospital for treatment.
This story is very troubling for the animal lovers out there. A small pit bull puppy was recently found hog-tied on the side of the road in Richland County. The dog was found in a plastic bag on Hunt Club Road after being tossed from a moving car. Every time she moved her legs, the noose would cut deeper into the front of her neck. Michelle Reed, the executive director of Valiant Animal Rescue and Relief, was alerted of the incident and is now taking care of the pup. Protests in downtown Charleston got a bit tense yesterday.
In 2015. You can see what's happening right now. It looks like both sides of the crowd are fighting one another.
The man you see there jumped on the barricade outside a lecture in downtown Charleston, attempting to grab a Confederate flag away from a member of the secessionist party. The man you see being arrested is Muhyiddin Moy, the leader of the Black Lives Matter in Charleston. The Charleston Police Department says Moy was charged with disorderly conduct. Brittany Bree Newsom, who last year climbed up the flagpole in front of the State House to remove the Confederate flag, was speaking Wednesday night. Her appearance prompted several large groups, including Black Lives Matter and the Secessionist Party, to gather.
That's honestly unbelievable. I mean, it seems like there's always something, you know?
Yeah, it's insane.
Well, Columbia is experiencing some warm weather, and there's something special going on in our neck of the woods. Let's take it to Allison, who is in the Horseshoe and can tell us more.
Well, down here in our neck of the woods, I'm hanging out with Al Roker, fellow weatherman, while we're experiencing this beautiful day on USC's Horseshoe. Temperatures are in the mid-70s right now, but later will be dropping off to the mid to high 50s tonight. So although it will be getting cooler, we are going to be seeing some record temperatures in the near future. I'll tell you when, coming up later. Back to you guys.
North Carolina's loss is Columbia's gain. I take you into the venues that are seeing renewed life again in Columbia. Colonial Life Arena, the Koger Center, the Coliseum. 3 huge venues that are seeing more action this year. 2016 and 2017 has brought more interest in the Columbia market for shows on tour. There's especially been a large spike at Colonial Life Arena. Sierra Sliker, junior at USC, says she was surprised by the small number of performances in Columbia.
I think that I was always kind of hearing about concerts coming to my other friends' schools, and I was jealous and there wasn't a lot happening.
But it wasn't always like that. Nancy Hanko was a student at USC and has worked for the Coliseum and Colonial Life Arena since 1990. She's seen the changes in the entertainment industry over the last 30 years.
You know, if it was a big show, your Kisses, your Aerosmith, your AC/DC, your Poison, your Guns N' Roses, they all came here. Everybody came here every tour because this was the largest venue in the state.
House Bill 2, also known as the Bathroom Bill in North Carolina, has forced many shows to relocate to different cities, making Columbia a popular destination again. The Bathroom Bill made headlines when it caused North Carolina to lose out on hosting NCAA games and this year's NBA All-Star Game, but it also lost out on many concerts. Until the mid-90s, small regional promoters would get performers to Columbia. Since promoting companies AEG and Live Nation created a monopoly on promoting, they skip out on smaller markets like Columbia and choose to have more shows in cities like Charlotte. This spike in performances in Columbia and North Carolina's losses will have an immediate economic impact on Columbia because it will bring people from outside of Columbia in, something unusual for the city.
We in Columbia will travel to Charlotte to see a show, we'll travel to Atlanta. Those people don't typically travel to Columbia. This isn't on their radar.
But with shows coming back to Columbia, Hanko and others who work for Columbia's venues believe Columbia may be viewed like it once was.
Only time will tell. It depends on how long that, to me, keeps up.
The shows continue to roll into Columbia. Tonight, Bryan performs at the Colonial Life Arena, followed by Winter Jam tomorrow.
In the not-so-distant past, if you wanted to listen to your favorite music, you had to listen to FM radio. But with new advances in the internet, you can get your favorite music with the click of a mouse. This leaves many wondering what the future of radio holds. But as Caitlin Mathias found out, it's looking pretty good.
You may not recognize this face, but do you recognize this voice?
Right Now by Van Halen.
This is Sadie Black, on-air personality for Q93.5, Fox 102.3, and soon-to-be morning host on Columbia's newest station, Rock 99.7. Sadie says FM radio has an edge against the growing popularity of online music.
We want to make sure that people feel like they're being heard. You know, if somebody calls in and says, I want to listen to this, or I have this thing that we're doing locally, could you guys help? You can't really do that with Pandora and Spotify. Those are things that there's no face behind it. You know, it's just it's basically a robot.
Fans agree that their interest in FM radio is its local appeal.
The things that they are talking about and the things that they are trying to inform people about, you know, is something important for that area.
What sets FM radio apart from companies like Pandora and Spotify is that they can get out in the community and interact and build relationships with their fans, like here at this free concert at the University of South Carolina. On-air personality Krogan says FM radio has a duty to their listeners.
Live and local is, you know, really the intimate experience that FM radio can provide, and when we're able to get out in Columbia and bring new artists and the sounds to the people, I mean, that's really the most important thing.
And that connection to the people is what has kept FM radio leading in the numbers. A recent study from Pew Research Center shows that despite the fact that more than half of Americans listen to online music, FM radio is still leading with over 90% of Americans tuning in. Bands like Ocean Park Standoff say FM radio will always have an advantage.
We feel really cool saying our songs are on radio, so I never want that feeling to go away, because that's been since I was a child. It's like, our song's on the radio, that's what you want to say, you know?
A lot of people thought radio was dying out, and it doesn't seem to be. I mean, we've got still a lot of people, you know, the 18 to 24 mark that are listening to radio, and, you know, I'd like to be able to say when I'm a grandmother or a great-grandmother, you know, my great-grandkids are still listening to radio.
And with fans like these, it seems her wish may come true.
What's up? It's your First Lady of Fox, Sadie Black.
Caitlin Mathias, Carolina News.
Black says she hopes that as the music scene in Columbia grows, younger generations will continue to tune into FM radio. That's really interesting. I would have never guessed that radio is still doing well.
Yeah, I mean, everyone wants to talk about how it's a dying industry, but it's definitely growing.
Yeah, I guess video didn't kill the radio.
No, it didn't. But straight ahead on Carolina News.
Take a look at the cinnamon roll shop that tosses their dough for a great cause. Next, find out which local shop puts their efforts first.
The new gorillas and feed the giraffes at Riverbank Zoo, Columbia.
Get up and get groovy. Kid, what's up with you? Let's get up and play. Do something. Stop slumping like a lump all day. Get on up, come on. Get out the door. Let's shake that booty like never before. Let's run, have fun. Let's jump and groove. Get up and get that body up. Make it move. Get up, get up, get up and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Woo. Let's run, have fun. Get up and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
Ouch! Sorry. For cool playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
The Cinnamon Roll Deli on Devine has become a big hit, but the deli is serving up more than sweet treats. Our talent, Terrence Singleton, shows you how the deli is serving the community.
The Devine Cinnamon Roll Deli is world famous for their Devine cinnamon rolls.
Oh, I just like the plain ones. Actually, the minis are the best, I think. Those I have to have at least one a week. Yeah.
But the shop is locally loved for the work they do in the community.
Yeah, we have local students, just locals, some are veterans and things like that. Just everyone in the community, whoever wants to throw up their artwork. If we've got space, we usually let them do it. We just tell them that, you know, proceed has to go to the rescue. We love animals, so it's a big deal for us.
And one of those artists also works for the shop. Megan Cooper's art is a customer favorite.
Well, I definitely have people who leave notes, like
saying that my art's nice, but they can't afford it right now, and they're going to come back for it. Or it's nice. It's actually really awesome. It's like I'm working my own gallery almost.
Even though the mother and son team of Jody and Richard Cruz is not from Columbia, they've made it a point to be active in this community.
40% of all the artwork sold goes to SQ Rescue, as of right now. And then I think we're going to be trying to do a charity event with the fire department and possibly the police department next month or in the next coming months, where those proceeds will go towards SQ Rescue.
When you leave the Divine Cinnamon Roll Deli, you leave with not only your belly full, but also your heart. Terrence Singleton, Carolina News.
You can also have a chance to see that artwork displayed on TV. The Food Network will be visiting the Divine Cinnamon Roll Deli on March the 4th. The first 100 people get a free cinnamon roll.
South Carolina's tourism industry is reaching new heights. The South Carolina Tourism Department says tourism surpassed $20 billion in 2015, a first for the Palmetto State. Officials think 2016 will also bring in good numbers. They're still working on those figures. Tourism is South Carolina's largest industry, supporting 1 in 10 jobs.
While many Gamecock fans enjoy taking in a South Carolina baseball game, do they know who's behind getting the field into pristine condition? Carolina News reporter Robert McCochran gives us an in-depth look at who's getting Founders Park ready for game day.
Before you see the opening pitch or hear the roar of Gamecock fans at Founders Park, one man is at the park early in the morning making sure the field will be ready for game time. Head groundskeeper Donnie Lindler gets here before 8 a.m. on game day to make his rounds to the stadium.
Basically, when you do it every day, you know what has to be done. And we do have like what I call a priority list, what has to get done. We know what needs to be done.
Although things don't always go according to plan.
Timeout.
Now that Donnie's back on track, it's time to water the field.
When you water your infield, especially with this Pennsylvania clay, you water it a lot, you flood it, and when you're scared you're going to rain them out, put more water on it.
It's things like that that have Founders Park looking so nice. Former Gamecock baseball standout Blake Cooper, who came back to coach and work on the field, says Donnie wants everything just right.
Donnie's he's a big stickler as far as the playing surface goes. He wants everything exactly right.
Everything needs to be just right, and it's all hands on deck on game day, including me apparently. Donnie put me straight to work, fixing the mound, mowing the lawn, smoothing the dirt, and even cleaning home plate. And hey, I even got hired. But at the end of the day, Donnie is just proud of his work.
I do get compliments from players occasionally, so you always striving for perfection out here on the ball field. And when I can sit back and say, "It's done. It's a good day, a good day's work."
After a long, hard day, all of Donnie's hard work is paid off. Home plate is now clean, and Gamecock baseball is ready to go. Here at Founders Park, I'm Robert McCaffrey, Carolina News.
Donnie has been the head groundkeeper of Founders Park for 15 years and says he has no plans of slowing down.
Not only will the baseball field look nice for this weekend's game, the weather will be equally as nice. Isn't that right, Allison?
Well, it still feels beautiful out here today. Temperatures are in the mid-70s, but are they here to stay? I'll let you know coming up next.
Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, unless you have a small apartment. But if you have a little grass, get off your ass. Adopt a dog, adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, and you will have a bigger friend. Adopt a dog, adopt a big dog, give him a home he can defend. Ooh.
Sir, do you have any idea how super cool you are?
Yeah, thanks.
I have a picture of you for above my bed, please. It's a super cool picture, super cool. Here's your picture back. I don't deserve it. Also a short poem I wrote about you. So super cool.
If only everyone saw you the way your dog does.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Camera 3 when I'm supposed to be on.
After the San Jose flood concerns, residents are returning home. Cars and household belongings were all damaged by the flood. Water is beginning to dry out, leaving behind trails of mud. People are still trying to preserve belongings that weren't damaged by the water, and concerns are increasing about the delay in an evacuation notice. The mayor of San Jose says they're working to understand where communication went wrong.
Well, luckily, it's not raining outside today.
That's really good. I'm enjoying this weather we're having. Is there more?
Beautiful weather. Well, let me slow down. Let's talk about currently in Columbia. So currently we've got temperatures in the mid-60s, 76 right now. It is a beautiful day outside. Humidity is 45. Can't really feel it though, so it's feeling pretty good. Only a little bit of wind, so that's not really an issue. If you take a look at what's going on around the state, 76 here in Columbia and here on campus at USC. Up in the upstate, Rock Hill, 74, 74 in Greenville. If we head toward the coast, it cools off a little bit with 70 in Myrtle Beach. But we're back at 75 in Charleston, and a little cooler in Hilton Head as well. Across the nation, we've got these warm airs coming in from the ocean here, giving us these warm temperatures in this high right now. That's what we're seeing. We saw these early morning scattered showers. We don't have to worry about that anymore because we have this low pressure coming in from the west. That's going to really do some damage tomorrow up north. We're going to have snow, lots of snow, and a lot of thunderstorms heading east. So call your parents if they're up north, call your families, tell them to bring out a rain jacket. We'll be fine, nice and warm down here in South Carolina. Tonight's low, so it's going to drop a little bit. It's going to be 54 here in Columbia, 56 in Greenville, 51 in Rock Hill, about the same along the coast. Tomorrow it's going to be really, really warm for February. We're going to see 81 degrees here in Columbia, which could be a record high. 77 in Greenville, 79 in Rock Hill, and yet again across the coast, it's about the same, a little cooler in Myrtle Beach and warm in Charleston. If we take a look at the 5-day, tomorrow we've got really warm weather. That's going to be great heading into the weekend, 78. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to cool off a little bit on Sunday. Might see a little rain Monday, and then we're going to start our week off warm again. So that's going to be really good weather for the most part.
I'm so excited. I mean, tomorrow, if I could be here when we break a record for temperature, that's going to be awesome.
That's going to be, I mean, shorts and T-shirts today, shorts and T-shirts tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Coming up on Carolina News, find out which USC sport is making a name for itself, and catch an exclusive interview with the former Daytona 500 winner. All this and more after the break.
See the new gorillas and feed the giraffes at Riverbank Zoo, Columbia.
Get up and get groovy. Kid, what's up with you? Let's get up and play. Do something. Stop slumping like a lump all day. Get on up, come on. Get out the door. Let's shake that booty like never before. Let's run, have fun. Let's jump and groove. Get up and get that body up. Make it move. Get up, get up, get up and be a player. Get up, get up, get up. Woo. Let's run, have fun. Get up and be a player.
Get up and play an hour a day.
Ouch! Sorry. For cool playtime ideas, go online. Just don't stay long.
Well, we've been having some beautiful spring weather lately, and there's not much better than going out and enjoying some spring sports.
That's right, Brian. Not much better than a nice breeze and some friendly competition. And a spring sport that might not come to everyone's mind first is tennis. But let me tell you, the USC men's tennis team is smacking the competition this year. The men have moved into the number 16 spot in the nation this week after starting their season with an 8-0 record. That is their best start to a season since 2004. The Gamecocks have 2 singles players ranked in the top 100 players nationally, and junior Gabriel Friedrich was ranked SEC Player of the Week last week. The men will hit the courts again this weekend at the Blue-Gray National Tennis Classic in Montgomery, Alabama. Now for some previews. There's a lot of exciting sporting events coming up this weekend. The Gamecocks women's basketball team have had an incredible season so far, but did they suffer a loss to Missouri on Sunday night? The team will return to the hardwood tonight in College Station. The Gamecocks are a solid favorite over the Aggies, but head coach Don Staley reminds us that anything could happen.
And you never know. You never know. You know, if we're dwelling on the loss in Missouri, then Texas A&M will bite us in the foot.
That game will take place tonight at 9 p.m. And racing fans, start your engines. The biggest race of the year, the Daytona 500, is this Sunday. I caught up with Fox Sports analyst and three-time Daytona 500 winner Darrell Waltrip, who gave me his predictions for the big day.
Tiffany, you know, I watched the race, the Clash, and got a little bit of feel for what we're going to see on Sunday. Look, I think those Toyotas, if they get together and work together, I think one of those Toyotas can win the race. But don't know what's going to happen on Sunday, but the Toyotas look mighty strong.
Well, you heard it here first. The Toyota team is the team to watch out for. The race takes place this Sunday at 2 p.m., and you can watch it on Fox. And if you're heading out to the USC baseball game today, you're running a little bit late. The Gamecocks are taking on the Kansas State Wildcats today, and the game started right at 4 p.m. So if you want to go, you still have some time to get out there and cheer them on. However, if you're planning on hitting Founders Park this weekend, be aware that there have been some schedule changes. The Friday and Saturday game times this weekend for the Wright State Series have been moved to accommodate more fans. The Friday game will now start at 7 p.m. and the first pitch of Saturday's game will be thrown at 4 p.m. So guys, it's pretty cool. They changed the game times actually to allow people who are going to the basketball game on Saturday to go to the basketball game and then have time to get to the baseball game.
Mm-hmm. So. And those basketball games are must-sees because right now we might be sitting on the bubble if we lose again.
Definitely, and then baseball is always fun to get to.
Oh, of course. Now, a peculiar performance was spotted on the horseshoe, and it's got people questioning if it was magic. We'll have the answer after the break.
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards.
Oh, don't. Oh.
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it goes.
Oh, Mom!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you. Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
USC may be gaining interest in adding a department for a new dance form. A floating wand? Danny Thorner was seen yesterday doing what seems to be magic on the horseshoe. This video went viral after a university employee tweeted it out. We caught up with her to see what in the world she was doing. She calls it flow dancing. Danny says she enjoys flow dancing on the horseshoe, so if you're passing by, you may be in for a show.
Well, that is interesting. More interesting than the forecast for sure, but, you know, here we are. For the 5-day forecast, tomorrow is going to be beautiful, and the rest of the week, pretty nice. It's weekend's going to be great. There's going to be a little rain on Monday, but that's about it.
I think I should catch up with that Danny Thorner girl and learn some flow dancing.
Definitely. Yeah. It's going to be nice enough weather for sure that you can go ahead and do that. Go ahead and out on the horseshoe. Maybe on Sunday you might need a sweatshirt. But other than that, the rest of the time you are going to be in your shorts and t-shirt, I promise you.
Yeah, those baseball games. Good weather for those. They moved them up a little bit actually also because it's going to be warm weather, so they wanted to
Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks so much for being with us.
See you tomorrow. Have a great evening.